After 2 years of long sleep, I arrived on a moon 4 light years away. Armed with nothing but a spacesuit and my wits, I was expected to survive using whatever resources were around me. From there, I built myself up from Stone Age tools to cutting-edge tech. Here on Olympus, Icarus feels a lot like Earth. In fact, when the climate crisis here on Earth was averted, a non-governmental organization called the United Development Agency, or UDA, formed, and they were set out to look for a second Earth. Icarus was found and was then slated to be terraformed so it would have a similar environment suitable for humans to live in. That terraforming project went awry, but in the process, the most valuable resource in the universe was discovered in abundance there. This resource is known as exotics. So the UDA switched gears. With the terraforming project abandoned, the UDA oversaw the flow of exotics in and out of Icarus. Soon enough, corporations filled in the emerging exotics market, forming operations that contracted missions to people like me, prospectors. But when one operation contacted me through some back channels on the contact device, I found out that something bigger was happening on Icarus. Something that may not be as valuable as exotics, but this operation saw value in it anyway. This is the sly tale of the great hunts on Icarus, Olympus edition. After creating a character, I chose where I wanted to land. And once I landed, I received some instructions.
If you want to complete missions for the UDA, you'll need to craft a short-range radio. Plenty of folks need help, and factions pay well for prospectors that offer their time. Up to you. Stay safe.
After this first message, I don't hear from Cell for a while. My overarching objective was to craft a shortwave radio, a contact device, all so I could remain in contact with Sol and complete the Great Hunt's mission. But if you think this is a game where you can just jump right into the missions and build yourself up fast, you are wrong. Holy cow. This goes on for days. Realizing that it might be a minute before I could even unlock the contact device, I had to change my mindset. I was here to immerse myself in Icarus, explore, gather resources, and have fun doing it. First, though, I needed to get my bearings. Oh my god, guys, there's a bear. Nope, nope. Oh shit, he like actually fell down and went after me. That crazy goose. Oh god. Those initial days were undoubtedly rough. Without a base or even a bed to skip through the night, I often stayed awake through the night. The darkness could be breathtaking in fleeting moments, but it was also terrifying, and admittedly a little frustrating. I'm getting the hang of it. Do that. Oh, that doesn't do anything. I was wondering if it was gonna, like, transport all my stuff to my containers. Did I just start a fire? Okay, so far it's not killing me, but I totally just started a fire, guys. So this is gonna be the next thing that's gonna kill Heather. It's gonna be completely self-inflicted. Yeah, my health is going down. My health is going down. I need to get out of here. Oh, I just started a forest fire. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do I need to try to find, like, water? I'm gonna go run into some water. I just cannot survive the night. Holy hell. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find some water. Oh, there is that the water? Oh my god, guys, I can't believe I just did that! Wow. Oh my god, there goes my steak too, man. Okay, well, it looks like my health is kind of restoring, so we got that going for us. until I got that bed, or better yet, the base, I spent nearly every night convinced I wouldn't survive until the morning. When I finally did craft a bed, I could skip through the night and start each day faster. In this sense, the sunlight was always on my side. Until it wasn't. What is that? What does that mean? I need to take shelter? Guys, I don't have any building materials. Oh my god, I'm gonna die, aren't I? I don't know where to go. Find a cave? What? Icarus is known for its brutalized climate, strong winds, torrential rains, and frightening flash storms. These storms happen every couple of days, and if I didn't take shelter, the exposure would nearly kill me. Prior to establishing a base, surviving storms from the exposure meant I had to carve a shelter in a rock, or hide in a cave if I was lucky enough to stumble upon one. The storms on Icarus weren't just weather. They are the forces integral to the lore. And a video on the broader lore will be coming out soon once I get through the other regions. Nonetheless, once I started building my base, everything shifted. That fragile sense of security I had been chasing settled in at last, and the constant edge of fear erased. With each new passing day, I wasn't just living on Icarus, I was thriving. Everything just came together. Right when I had survival under control, I was able to unlock the contact device, and my real journey began. While my main objective was to push through the Great Hunts campaign, I took on several simple missions and operations along the way, if only to learn the terrain a little bit more and earn a few rewards. The simple missions were pretty straightforward and required little time to complete. One of the most common missions involved repairing abandoned bases, a task that sounded easy until the wildlife decided otherwise. These weren't timed missions, but they felt like a race against the clock as creatures would hurl themselves at the walls faster than I could patch them up. Every repair came with a surprise. Oh my god, he's turning on me! These guys never get aggressive! I thought they were nice! Oh god, now I have a line of bear cubs just coming after me. They're so cute but so demonic! After completing a simple mission, a drop pod would slam into the ground, offering a selection of rewards. The operations were far more complex, often with multi-step objectives, sending me all over the map, but I would receive monetary rewards. Now, without going into too much detail, rent is the main form of currency, and you could use the rent to purchase advanced weapons, and tools, and farm animals. All that can be done at the orbital exchange. You can also mine exotics and sell them for rent. And I say all this because when I stumbled upon exotics at first, I didn't really know what the heck it was. However, I quickly learned that I could mine exotics and then sell them, which only accelerated my progress. So all that is to say that as I was going through the Great Hunts missions, I was selling exotics in the background and gearing up for what I was anticipating to be a pretty rough fight. But regardless, shortly after one of my first simple missions, I landed up adopting my first tame. Whoa! Sorry, buddy. I think I'm ready for a companion. Let's take our little tame, Noah. Come on, dear. Oh, so cute. And from this point forth, I had an unofficial challenge for myself. Keep all my tames alive. Do you think I could do it? By the way, I know there is a lot of great content out there, and thank you for clicking on my video out of all of the videos out there. If you like the video so far, give it a like or hype, and if you want to hear more from me, maybe hit that subscribe button. As time went on, I'd get a few more tames. And how did I choose them? Well, I can't really say for sure. I guess after killing the mother, if the baby and I vibed, I go ahead and take them in. After collecting a few tames, I was ready to traverse the map with them and begin the Great Hunts campaign. That's when Norex reached out.
Greetings, contractor. Do I really have to read all this? Fine, whatever. This station will enable you to contact Norex for exclusive contracts via our proprietary AI.
An outfit that definitely wasn't sanctioned by the UDA. Their message slipped through back channels on the contact device. Quiet, but deliberate. They knew what they were doing.
Contracts will involve what we call creatures of interest. You'll be tasked with tracking, tagging, or hunting them depending on the work order. We're currently using a loophole to operate remotely on ICARUS, so we can't aid you further than a few encrypted calls per contract. Time is money and all that. As we're operating outside of UDA jurisdiction here, I'm sure you understand that the delicate nature of our work needs to remain confidential. Basically, you quietly supply us with the parts we need to keep producing biotech back on Earth, and we pay you under the table for your work. And for the love of God, keep your mouth shut about it while you do it. I don't need to lose any more contractors this month. Don't ask questions, don't steal anything, and don't talk to the UDA.
Unlike every other operation on ICARUS, they weren't chasing exotics. They wanted prospectors to retrieve otherworldly things for advanced biotech that they could use to research back on Earth. Operating remotely, all they knew was that one of their contractor teams had reported strange activity near their outpost. And then contact with them started to get a little shoddy. Last they heard, there was some undocumented wildlife reported. So they sent me some coordinates to investigate what was going on at this miner's outpost. Where are they, and what's up with this undocumented wildlife? This mission brought me all the way to a mining outpost in the desert. Bud, you be good. Love ya. Oh, cutie. Alright, you're all set. And while I did not find any miners alive, I could piece together what happened, at least to some. It's like my first gun. I'll take it. Just in case. Just in case. Why? I mean, I guess it would make sense that these guys are like buddy. Kept his best friend Dave company. And that's Dave. Aww. It makes sense that there would be a lot of supplies here. I'm just kind of filled with joy that this campaign just gives you so many supplies. Grab it. Corrupted. Nuts. Couple of days without incidents. So they died like maybe 3 days ago? Is that what that means? Maybe. Oh, look at it. Oh my god. You could also just stuff your pets. You don't have to bury them. Aw.
Well, these things certainly seem to fit the criteria for causing mass panic. I'd advise you to proceed with caution.
Quarrites are native to ICARUS. They are armored and have 4 eyes in total, and are best suited in the desert regions. While they take shelter in burrows, they roam around above ground looking for food and water. Haha, he's stuck. Gotcha. Bestiary. Weakness. Oh, cool. No more of you guys.
Whoa! You survived. Oh, they're corrupted. Of course they are. This couldn't be easy, could it? Fine. I'll start processing these, but it will take time to reformat the files. When I have a complete log ready, I'll inform you. For now, it's time to check back in with Norex. Mission complete. Your next contract can be found on your chosen contact device.
Surely this data was of value to Norex, but screw them. With this quarrite dead and its collapsed burrow, ensuring no more would emerge, I looked around the outpost to see what was of value to me. Alright, I don't really know the electricity system in this game, but I think I did read somewhere that you kind of start out with biofuel, and then you can eventually... Well, I mean, I've seen oil already, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do something with oil eventually. When I sealed that burrow, more of them surfaced across the desert. And so that's the thing about the Great Hunts campaign. Every time you finish a mission, the world shifts with a permanent outcome. After the missing miners mission came to a close, quarrites and their burrows began emerging across the desert regions. And so for the quarrite, the once undocumented wildlife species that no operation observed previously had suddenly become as common as the wolves in the forest. And around the miners' outpost, those tight and narrow corridors that kind of surrounded the area meant that I had to rely on stealth and a silent prayer in hopes that I wouldn't get spotted. Okay, let's see how well the stealth works. So good so far. He was sleeping, did you see that? It was kind of funny. Although the quarrites are now documented, that wasn't necessarily enough for Norex, especially for their research. They needed more data. So Norex sent me some coordinates to a new location to gather just that, more data.
Contractor, seems like you have a hunt. Your next task is to collect and analyze data from these newly identified creatures. Why you, or anyone, would voluntarily go near those things, I'll never know. You can start by proceeding to a collection of caves nearby.
Cave worms are a known species on ICARUS, and at this point I had been aware of their existence because I would encounter them all the time whenever I went into caves. But did you know the worms that are in caves were only the infants? Inhabiting caves during their infancy was only one part of their life cycle. Once they mature, they leave the cave as teenagers, and then they mature further into adulthood, where they rarely emerge. As adults, they're known as sandworms or land sharks. Not terrifying at all. So it may be one thing to see teenage and fully grown worms outside of the caves, but I was encountering a few infant cave worms outside as well. So what could be driving them out? At each location Norex sent me to, a quarrite was inside, ready to attack. So clearly, based on the data that I'm gathering, quarrites just don't move through the earth, they live in it. Most burrowing creatures on earth do the same. Think of a gopher. Underground, they carve out sleeping chambers, food caches, and even designated latrines. I know, very interesting, right? So if quarrites decided they were going to take up residency in a cave, in the same cave that infant cave worms are kind of growing up in, the infant cave worms and the quarrites would have to compete with one another. Who do you think is going to be outcompeted? This mission completed, the quarrites expanded their reach. They ventured out of their native lands of the desert and began encroaching in the alpine forest and even the Arctic. Their expansion terrified me at first. Do you see them over there? So I wonder if they're just going to be walking right by my base every day now. Then I had a choice.
This is valuable information for the company. Establishing an upload link now. Beep boop computer noises.
Contractor, you there? That's some great data you just sent through. Hopefully I'll get the lead off my back. Now you have a choice. I have 2 urgent reports. Another mining outpost is under attack. More refugee worms. Or a swarm of our newer friends have been sighted in a local cave. Getting up close and personal with a fortune worth of exotics? It's up to you. Norex doesn't judge, so neither will I.
A helpless mining outpost surrounded by deadly creatures. What could go wrong?
Shut it, Agent.
Yes. But saving lives won't make you rich, will it, Contractor? Whatever will you do?
Agent! Override. Sierra Alpha 5 Beta 0 Tango. Mission complete. Sorry about him. Damn robot's been around since the start. It's seen some stuff. I'll speak to you again soon.
I chose the Liberation mission, even though Norex kept hinting it was the less desirable option. Honestly, it felt like they were trying a little too hard to steer me away from it. Classic reverse psychology. The other mission, Brilliance, was the one they practically gift-wrapped. Big exotic payout, shiny incentives, you could keep every shard yourself or hand them over to Norex. And something told me that's exactly what they were banking on. If I picked Brilliance, they'd expect me to funnel the exotics straight into their hands. They've been nice so far, but all of these companies, these operations, they see prospectors as expendable. So I'm not exactly going to pledge my allegiance to them.
We don't exactly have the best reputation for safety.
But you know what? I probably would have kept the exotics to myself anyways. The Liberation mission involved me checking on an outpost that had been overrun by quarrites. This outpost was nestled at a lake in the forested area, and upon arrival, I got to business closing the burrows. The quarrites were not the only creatures taking over this outpost, though. Once again, the cave worms emerged. It was like as if these two were coexisting on Icarus now, just terrorizing all the prospectors who were trying to make an honest living. Closing up the burrows while dodging cave worms' poison was the name of the game. Once all the burrows were closed, the cave worms were all that I needed to focus on, but damn, these guys completely wrecked the place. And even the smaller guys weren't the end of it.
That one is rather large. Be careful, contractor.
Yes, another land shark. So as this epic match came to a close, I was able to focus my attention on the main thing I set out to do: help these miners. Ha ha ha, got you. He's healed. Pick him up. And as the miners were rescued, more of those encrypted logs were decrypted. And as for the contractors that were still around, that are still helping out Norex, apparently they were talking about leaving for orbit.
Some of our men are talking about leaving for orbit. They refuse to work with this threat hanging over us. It seems no amount of fortification can protect us when the creatures can appear right out from under you. As I record this, I can see 2 of my team stuffing their dropships with anything they can carry. I'll do my best to prevent theft of any company property, but I can't guarantee it.
Icarus no longer felt safe with these things. Sure, the usual threats like hostile wildlife, violent storms, all of those made life difficult on Icarus, but you could fortify yourself against those. Build walls, reinforce shelters, create a perimeter, and sleep easy. Quarrites were a little different though. They could scale walls like they were nothing, and surface without any warning, something that moved through the earth itself. And the way that they do it made people uneasy. From this outpost, Norex was hoping they could predict the Quarrite's migration patterns in hopes that they could predict where they would turn up next. And while speaking of preventing theft, this base was packed with an enormous amount of resources and equipment that I was far from unlocking. One piece of equipment that would have been otherwise overlooked on my part was the infrasonic relay upgrade. This may be attached to the contact device, and it gave me access to encoded operations. What that means, I don't know. Let me know if you know in the comments down below. With the data acquired from the Liberation mission, Norex was able to determine where the Quarrites would show up next. I was tasked with basically building a second base. This was meant to be a research outpost where I could observe their behaviors. Instead of discovering new behaviors though, it was discovered that there are variants. Their armor could be infused with many of the mining ores, even exotics. When I used taxidermy knives to harvest them, I obtained fragments of their infused armor, which could then be cleaned using a biofuel cleaner, and then I'd get a pretty nice sum of ores. You know, I didn't think about this, but I could have left the burrow open, and then I probably could have killed some more and just got a whole bunch of exotics. Even though I thought I made a huge mistake closing up the burrow for the exotic infused quarrite, the world outcome for completing this mission was that there was some chance of exotic infused quarrite spawning. But as far as this video goes, I never saw an exotic infused quarrite ever again. After completing this mission, Norex was really starting to lose their grip on other contractors.
Contractor, another log file has been decrypted. Reading it for you now.
Log progress at Victor Alpha 1. This is bad, really bad. Almost everyone has just upped and left. In their panic, the idiots even took the weapons. They've left us like sitting ducks out here, completely defenseless. Not that it matters. Our bullets just bounced right off of them. It's only Dave and I left. I don't suppose the company will send anyone here to help us. I don't even know if this thing's recording properly. Dennis knocked it over when he was trying to find his stash of Ren yesterday. All we can do now is wait.
Contractor, you there?
Hank, I said wait. I'm on a call. Give me a damn second.
Sorry. Right. Well done on all that stuff you're doing.
Hank, I don't have time for another contractor. I've already got 6 on the go.
Sorry. Good work, contractor. That's likely enough information to get us to the source of this nonsense.
Mission complete. Your next contract can be found on your chosen contact device.
As I returned from this mission, I was met with the unexpected. But to all of you Icarus players, is this not a rite of passage? Oh god. Oh my god, I just set my plates on fire. Oh bloody hell, this is gonna be so bad. Okay, follow me. We're gonna go evacuate. This is an emergency, guys. Okay, follow me. I'm trying to stay calm. Stay calm. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, God. Is that their health going down, or is... Okay, got you. Okay, come on. Come on, I know you guys can do it! Oh my god, my health is low. I gotta, what is it? 8? Give me my little potion. Thank you. If I didn't have this on me, oh my god, these guys would be burning to death. I would have lost my challenge. They gotta stay alive. They've got to stay alive. Come on, guys. There you go. Get your little temporary shelter. It's like FEMA. You just have to stay in here for a couple of days, guys, okay? Because I have a feeling I'm going to have to rebuild. My interior was all wood. Oh, God. I am seeing the inside of my base. This thing just got burned. Burned inside. It is just like a shell of my former base. Oh, it's still going. I could hear it. Okay, well, at least I have my equipment. I'm not losing everything. Oh my god. That's the kitchen. The kitchen is burning. What does that look like? That's cool. That's actually a really cool effect. They did a good job with that. But, oh my god, this is gonna be hours. I have to redo this. Hours. Completing that mission unlocked the final great hunt, but I wasn't ready. Not even close. I was still running around in beginner gear and was due for an upgrade. So I switched out my armor, crafted better weapons, and got acquainted with attachments. And then dug in. Literally. I spent time mining and hunting for more exotics. More exotic so I could afford the good stuff at the workshop. One of the calmer ways to do that was with a biofuel extractor. Just set it up and peacefully walk away. The other way was using the vapor condenser. This would net me exotics and enzymes at those geysers, but it delivered them in the most chaotic way. Now we have jaguars? Jaguars. Never seen them. Oh my god. There's so many that are just scraggling since I decided to abandon that mission. Well, I didn't abandon it, but I decided the vapor condenser is just not for me. As I hopped back into the Great Hunts campaign, there were 2 optional missions that I had not completed yet. Prototype and Weakness. Both of these would give me advantage over the boss fight. Prototype would unlock the drill armor ammo, which could crack through the Quarrite's thick armor. The other mission would have a world outcome that would make the boss weaker to explosives. I don't think it's best for me to bring frags to the boss fight, for me anyways, in my opinion. Without completing this mission, boss is only weak to poison. After quite a bit of time prepping for this boss fight, I finally loaded up with enough ammo to survive a couple of fights. Because let's be real here, I wasn't going to be walking in and winning on the first attempt. The Unstable Quarrite's hideaway was in the desert, not too far away from the base I had built during the research mission. But since it would still be a trek on foot, I brought my team along with me and stashed her high up on top of a rock. I'm still trying to keep them all alive after all. And by the way, I succeeded, thank you very much. Just like any other, I just built a simple box right outside. She'll be fine. While I died a number of times, I eventually got it together. The unstable quarrite was larger, faster, and more aggressive. It would roll, and it would throw fists at me. The temper tantrums were easy to dodge, but once it got rolling, you were kind of out of luck. The drill arrows worked superbly, but unlike other quarrites, this one was able to regenerate its armor. I was advised. They all say don't go in there. Of course. Okay, so I've heard that that's normal, where he gets all his health back. But of all the weapons I brought with me, I found the poison pickaxe to be the most satisfying. It's a risky move to get that close to a quarrite, especially this one, but knowing that I was dealing damage even while I was reloading and getting my act together all the way across the cave, it gave me joy. And once again, the cave worms showed up. What is their connection anyway? As soon as the unstable quarrite took a break, they'd show up. Really? Well, I think I was going to be breaking their bond shortly. Surely, upon defeating the unstable quarrite, the worms would have nothing else to defend, and they retreated underground, never to emerge again. I'm just kidding. That part I just made up. I almost got him. It is, of course, unless he replenishes his stuff, his armor. I don't think he's going to, though. There he is. I think he's going to jump at me, though. Ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha-ha! And just like that, Norex ceased to contact me. They got all the data they needed, and it turns out they were inspired by the quarrite's burrowing capabilities. At the biolab, they granted me access to their new technology, the mining armature. It has a mining radius of plus 80 and a 500% armor damage. It is the first prototype in Norex's endeavors in building an exoskeleton suit. Not too bad, eh? That's going to do it for today, guys. My name is Heather, and thank you so much for letting me put my game on for you. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a like or hype. But if you want to hear more from me, please subscribe or come hang out during one of my streams. They occur every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.